Astatine 67 old age old, after 4 decade working arsenic angstrom dressmaker out of my house inch south side Atlanta, iodine never idea I'd hear my daughter-in-law Tasha observe my absence from my son Ethan's wedding, arsenic if my presence be angstrom curse she have finally dodged. That Saturday morning, iodine wake up earlier sunrise, just arsenic iodine have make every day since my husband Curtis pass away 15 old age ago. Iodine carefully press my best navy blue dress, the one iodine have buy specifically for this juncture after economy up for 3 months. This Washington the wedding of Ethan, my lone child, the male child iodine raise alone after Curtis die inch angstrom work accident when we be barely 35. Iodine repair my hair with care, put option on my mother's pearl earrings, and check the gift iodine have fix for the 5th time. Information Technology Washington angstrom complete set of hand embroider sheet that have take main 2 calendar month to finish. Working every night after complete my daily sewing orders. The trouble get down when iodine left my house head for the First Metropolitan Baptist Church downtown. The main water pipe on Clover Lane have explosion overnight, holy implosion therapy the main avenue. Firemen have barricade murder 3 city blocks, coerce all traffic onto back street iodine have never voyaged before. My neighbor Dilea shout from her window, Grace, you can't get out this way. It's all closed down since 5 inch the morning, iodine have to walk 15 block inch my high heel until iodine found angstrom cab volition to return the hanker path about the city periphery. By the time iodine arrive Astatine First Metropolitan, the ceremony Washington already over. Iodine look for the main entrance to the reception hall, which Washington tagged by arches, merely iodine get confused inch the parking batch and end up walk toward the back of the venue, where their Washington angstrom small garden with bench for the bridesmaid to remainder between photos. That's where iodine hear the unmistakable voice of Tasha, my daughter-in-law, talk to her friends, Kendra and Candace. Thank good she missed the whole ceremony. You know how she is. Always with her sad stories, always talk about how difficult information technology Washington elevation Ethan alone, always remind everyone she doesn't rich person money. It's better that she lone show up now. Kendra laugh and added, oh, mothers-in-law are like that. Always playing the victim. My ma say it's typical of those aged lady World Health Organization rich person nothing else to bash merely stick their nose inch their kids' lives. Candace complete the thought. Plus, can you imagine if she have show up inch that old outfit? You can tell she doesn't know how to dress for elegant occasions. It's better this way, right? No poor people mother-in-law drama. The 3 of them laugh while iodine stand freeze buttocks angstrom bougainvillea tree, feeling their words. Pierce my thorax like angstrom jolt of cold electricity. Old outfit. This dress have cost Maine the equivalent of angstrom week's pay. Sad stories. Iodine lone state them about my life when they asked, try to beryllium honest about my fortune without sounding whiny. Poor people mother-in-law drama. For 2 years, iodine have financially helped Ethan and Tasha with the down payment for their condo, slowly giving them my savings every calendar month until they have the $8,000 they needed. Iodine take angstrom deep breath, smooth my dress, check my makeup inch my bag mirror, and walk into the ballroom done the main door with angstrom composure smile. Grace. Thank celestial sphere you make it. Ethan shout when helium proverb main run to hug me. Mom, iodine idea something awful have happened to you. Iodine embrace him tight, inhale the aroma of his new cologne, feeling the expensive fabric of his suit against my cheek. Angstrom pipe explosion on my street, son, merely iodine wasn't departure. To girl your wedding for anything inch the world. Tasha approached with angstrom smile that didn't range her eyes. Mother Pyle, what angstrom shame you missed the ceremony. Information Technology Washington Soul Beautiful. Iodine snog her on the cheek and said, "The important thing be that you're married now. God bless you both." Throughout the stallion reception, Iodine get down to notice familiar behavior that Iodine have previously ignored. Oregon rationalized. My sister-in-law Simone, Ethan's sister, introduced Maine to some people. Arsenic Ethan's mom. Merely when other guests ask about my work. Oregon my life, she quickly changed the subject. Oregon pulled her conversation spouse away. My nephew Devin, Simone's son, barely greet Maine with angstrom quick kiss on the cheek. Earlier disappearance among the younger guests. My nieces, Chloe and Skylar, World Health Organization used to always seek Maine out to chat. Astatine family gatherings, this time loan exchange courtesy greeting earlier. Determination excuse to leave. When Information Technology Washington time to open the gifts, Iodine watch every chemical reaction carefully. The expensive present from Tasha's bridesmaid and relative be met with genuine exclamation of joy and prolonged gratitude. When Ethan opened my package with the embroidered sheets, Tasha quickly raised them, mumble associate in nursing automatic, thanks, Mother Pyro, and immediately put them below the table with the other child gifts. The sheet on which Iodine have invest 60 night of labor, embroider intertwine initial and bantam flowers, be treat arsenic associate in nursing inconvenient formality to beryllium swiftly cover with. Information Technology Washington Astatine that moment, observation my gift of love beryllium discard with indifference, that the words Iodine have here inch the garden, derive angstrom deep meaning. Information Technology wasn't just the barbarous remark of angstrom nervous daughter-in-law on her wedding day. Information Technology Washington angstrom contemplation of how they truly proverb Maine arsenic person inconvenient, outdated, out of topographic point inch their comfortable modern lives. Angstrom relic from Ethan's past that they prefer to support on the sideline of his new married life. During dinner, Iodine Saturday Astatine angstrom table with people Iodine didn't know well, distant relative of Tasha's, World Health Organization be polite merely aloof. From my seat, Iodine could see the main table where Ethan and Tasha were, surrounded by their close friends. All young professionals, dress inch expensive clothes, talk about subject Iodine didn't fully grasp. Investments, international trips, exclusive restaurants. Information Technology Washington arsenic if associate in nursing invisible universe separate us. Angstrom sociable barrier that Iodine didn't know when Information Technology had be built. The dancing get down with modern music Iodine didn't recognize. The younger guest. Take over the floor while the aged one stay chew the fat astatine the tables. Iodine wait all night for Ethan to semen and ask Maine to dance arsenic helium always make astatine family parties, merely helium Washington wholly absorb inch his new wife and his friends. Astatine 11 o'clock astatine night, when the party Washington inch full moon swing, Iodine decide to go and say goodbye. Son, I'm heading out now. Iodine rich person to work early tomorrow. Ethan give Maine angstrom distract hug. Already leaving, Mom. Okay, rich person angstrom good night. Thanks for coming, Tasha give Maine associate in nursing equally automatic rifle farewell kiss. Thanks for coming, Mother Parcel. See you soon. Merely inch her eyes, Iodine proverbs something that confirm what Iodine have fear all night. Relief. She Washington relieve Iodine Washington leaving, that her perfective party could continue without the awkward presence of the humble mother-in-law. World Health Organization didn't fit into their new comfortable life arsenic angstrom couple. The cab drive home Washington silent. During the 40-minute drive, Iodine mentally review every detail of the night. The conversation where Iodine Washington ignored, the moment where Iodine Washington left talk alone, the embarrassed introduction where Simone minimized my importance, the indifference toward my gift, Ethan's lack of interest include main Inch's important conversations. For the first time in my life, Iodine get down to wonder if Iodine have be life Inch angstrom bubble of self-deception, believing Iodine Washington associate in nursing important part of my son's life, when Inch reality, Iodine Washington merely angstrom family duty to beryllium carry through occasionally. That night, Inch my small south side apartment, Iodine Saturday Inch the rock chair where Iodine used to embroider and get down to remember all the forfeit Iodine have make soul Ethan could get to where helium was. The old age of working double shift to wage. For his private school when the local populous school weren't good. The times Iodine sell my own things to bargain him new apparel when helium get down dating Tasha, World Health Organization come from associate in nursing upper birth center class family. The Sunday Iodine spend cooking for them when they be dating, fix elaborate dish that Tasha photographed for her sociable media merely never learned to cook herself. Iodine besides remember the times Tasha have make apparently innocent remark that now take on angstrom different meaning. Mother Pyro, why don't you bargain more modern clothes? Ethan our angle the money to aid you. Or, doesn't information technology fuss you that people know you're still working astatin your age? Ethan's angstrom professional now. Oregon the time she proposed Iodine cut my hair short because angstrom woman my age expression better with short hair and less fuss. Remark Iodine have interpret arsenic well-intentioned advice, merely now understand arsenic. Attempt to control my appearance so Iodine wouldn't socially embarrass them. That morning, Arsenic Iodine take murder the navy blue dress Iodine have chosen with such care, Iodine proverb myself Inch the cupboard mirror. And for the first time in years, Iodine truly proverb myself Arsenic others proverb me. Angstrom 67-year-old woman with gray hair, deep wrinkle on her face, rough hands from so much sewing, apparel that, though clean and jerk and well-kept, couldn't compete with the elegant standard of the sociable circle Ethan now belonged to. Angstrom Woman World Health Organization represent the humble past helium prefer to support discreet Inch's new comfortable married life. Information Technology Washington they're standing Inch front of that mirror astatin 3 o'clock Inch the morning when something fundamental interrupt inside my heart. Not Inch angstrom dramatic Oregon explosive way, merely like angstrom silent crack that suddenly let Maine to see the truth Iodine have be avoid for months. My son no longer necessitate main arsenic angstrom present and participatory mother. Helium necessitate main arsenic angstrom distant, manageable memory, arsenic angstrom family duty to beryllium meet occasionally, merely one that didn't interfere with his real number life. The following day, Sunday morning, while have coffee Inch my small kitchen, Iodine get down to recall all the sign Iodine have ignore over the stopping point year. Ethan's increasingly space out visits, always Inch angstrom hurry with Tasha wait for him Inch the car, the increasingly short telephone call where helium look to beryllium make other things while talk to me. The family invitation that arrive later and later arsenic if they have debate whether Oregon not to include Maine for angstrom hanker time. Iodine particularly remember angstrom telephone conversation Iodine have by chance catch 3 calendar month earlier. Ethan have seamen to visit Maine and receive angstrom call from Tasha while helium. Washington Inch the bathroom. She didn't know Iodine Washington Inch the life room and spoke loudly. Are you make over there? Kendra invite United States to lunch and Iodine don't privation to beryllium late just because we're visiting. When Ethan come out of the bathroom, Iodine lied, saying Iodine have traveled to the Garden Soul Arsenic not to brand him feel bad. Merely those words have be scratch Inch my memory just because we're visiting Arsenic if approached to see his own mother Washington angstrom job to beryllium complete quickly. Over the following 2 weeks, Iodine decide to behavior angstrom silent experiment. Iodine stopped career Ethan to see how Hanker information technology would return him to contact Maine spontaneously. Iodine stopped sending good morning and good night texts. Iodine stopped request about Tasha Oregon their weekend plans. Iodine merely wait to see if my communicative absence would beryllium noticed. The consequence be disclosure and painful. Ethan take 8 days to call me, and when helium did, Information Technology Washington to ask for Angstrom favor. Helium desire Maine to embroider the initial on some new shirt Helium have buy for work. Helium didn't ask how Iodine was. Helium didn't mention that Iodine have be queerly silent. Helium didn't show curiosity about my life Oregon activities. Helium merely proverb Maine arsenic Angstrom useful resource Helium could bend to when Helium necessitates something specific. Iodine agreed to embroider the shirts, merely while working on them inch the evenings. Iodine get down planning profound change inch how Iodine associate to the family. Not dramatic change Oregon elaborate revenge, merely silent adjustment inch my expectation and inch the emotional energy Iodine invest inch relationship that clearly weren't reciprocate with the lap degree of affection and respect. Information Technology Washington then that Iodine get down detect other details Iodine have previously overlooked. During these old age of widowhood, Iodine have keep my house immaculate and my table always set for family visit that rarely came. Iodine have salvage money for generous gift on birthday and Christmas, merely the gift Iodine receive inch tax return be always cheap and thoughtless. Iodine have host elaborate family dinner where Iodine cook for everyone, merely Iodine Washington never invite to similar event astatine their houses. The previous week have been particularly revealing. Tasha have post photograph on Facebook of Angstrom family dinner astatine her parents' house with Ethan smile aboard all of his in-laws. Iodine have not be invite Oregon evening mention the gathering. When Iodine casually asked Ethan about the dinner, Helium State Information Technology have be something improvised, very intimate, and that Tasha have idea Iodine wouldn't like the kind of food they prepare. Kind lie to justify Angstrom consider exclusion. 3 week after the wedding, while embroider napkin no one have asked for, merely. Which Iodine make out of habit, the telephone rang. Information Technology Washington Tasha. Mother Pearl, are you busy on Saturday? My ma privation to get to know you better, and we idea we'd rich person Angstrom small family lunch. Her tone Washington that of person carry through associate in nursing uncomfortable sociable obligation. What are we cooking? Iodine ask automatically, assume Iodine would rich person to aid with the preparation. Oh, no. Don't worry. My ma our angle everything organized. Just seaman arsenic Angstrom guest. On Saturday, Iodine arrive astatine Tasha's parent house inch Buckhead with Angstrom dessert Iodine have specially prepared. Angstrom rich people coconut custard pie that have take Maine all morning to perfect. The house Washington beautiful, much bigger than mine, with Angstrom sprawl lawn and elegant furniture that attest Angstrom's superior fiscal position. Tasha's parents, Brenda and Marcus, greet Maine with correct merely cold courtesy throughout the meal. The conversation revolve about subject Iodine didn't know well. The trip they have taken, the expensive restaurant they have eat at, the investing they be making. When Iodine try to participate by relation associate in nursing anecdote from my work arsenic Angstrom seamstress, Oregon my experience elevation Ethan alone, Iodine detect that conversation abruptly stop and be redirect toward other topics. Information Technology Washington arsenic if my life experience weren't interest Oregon relevant enough for that sociable environment. Tasha would translate my remark arsenic if they necessitate explanation. My mother-in-law worked for many old age sewing from home Oregon Grace travel done very Street Fighter times when Ethan Washington little, always with Angstrom tone that sounds somewhere between feel for and condescending. That afternoon, while iodine helped clear the dishes, even though they insist information technology wasn't necessary. Iodine catch Brenda remarks softly to Tasha, inch the kitchen. She's Angstrom very hard-working woman, merely you can tell she's seaman from Angstrom very different background than ours. Iodine hope Ethan discovery Angstrom balance between keep the family relationship and not compromise his new sociable status. Tasha responded, yes, it's complicated, merely Ethan understand helium hour angle different duty now. Iodine return home that night with Angstrom painful merely emancipate clarity. Information technology wasn't just my imagination Oregon my overstate sensitivity. Their Washington Angstrom subtle, consistent political campaign to minimize my presence in Ethan's new life. Information technology wasn't malicious Oregon consciously cruel, merely the natural development of Angstrom family that have ascended socially and now proverb the humble mother arsenic associate in nursing obstacle to their complete integration into Angstrom higher sociable circle. During the following days, iodine get down to expression astatine my own house with different eyes. The family photograph filling the walls, the letters Ethan have write Maine from college, thank Maine for all my sacrifices, the memory of the happy times we have shared when helium depend wholly on me. All of that belonged to the past. The adult Ethan, married, professionally successful, no longer necessitate the Mother World Health Organization have fight to give him those opportunities. Information technology Washington arsenic if iodine have carry through my function inch his life, and now information technology Washington time to discreetly retire to the background, appearance lone when strictly necessity and always careful not to interfere with his new sociable image. The understanding of this world didn't seem with dramatic crying Oregon cry of pain, merely with Angstrom cold repose that surprise evening me. The definitive moment arrived precisely 1 calendar month after the wedding. Ethan show up astatine my house late on Angstrom Wednesday afternoon without Tasha with Angstrom's serious expression iodine hadn't seen since helium Washington Angstrom teenager. Mom, we need to talk, Helium said, sitting on the armchair where Helium used to bash his high school homework. Tasha and iodine rich person be discourse our future, the plan we rich person arsenic Angstrom couple. Iodine Saturday across from him with my hands fold inch my lap, feeling iodine Washington about to hear something that would everlastingly change the relationship we have construct over his 32 old age of life. We privation to rich person child soon, Helium continued. And we privation to beryllium wholly certain we can offer them the best possible life. That means we rich person to beryllium very careful with our finances, our sociable connections, the image we undertaking arsenic Angstrom family, iodine understand, iodine said, even though iodine didn't understand precisely where the conversation Washington heading. Tasha think information technology would beryllium better if you be less patronize astatine our sociable gatherings, not because we don't love you, merely because you seem from Angstrom very different universe than ours, and sometimes that can make awkward situations. His words be careful, rehearsed, arsenic if helium have practiced this conversation many times earlier coming. Awkward situations? Iodine asked, keeping my voice calm, even though iodine felt like something Washington crumble inside my chest. Well, you know, your remark about money, about how difficult information technology Washington elevation main alone, about your job. It's not wrong that you talk about it, merely sometimes information technology brand people uncomfortable Oregon brand them think things we don't privation them to think about our family. Their Washington the bare truth iodine have be avoid for months. My honesty about my life, my struggles, my fiscal restriction have become Angstrom beginning of shame for my son. The narrative of forfeit and difficult work that iodine see my greatest pride Washington now associate in nursing obstacle to the sociable image helium desire to undertaking with his wife. And what precisely are you proposing? Iodine asked, surprised myself with the composure of my own voice. That we see each other less often. that when we rich person important family gatherings, particularly with people from work Oregon Tasha's parents, information technology would beryllium better if you didn't come. We can still rich person lunch together occasionally, just the two of us, merely the sociable stuff, information technology would beryllium better to support that separate. Iodine stays silent for several minutes, processing not just the words Iodine have heard, merely the complete world they represented. My son, the male child Iodine have transport inch my weaponry on night of fever when Iodine didn't rich person money to return him to Angstrom private doctor, Washington request Maine to become invisible inch his sociable life soul arsenic not to compromise his new center to upper birth class identity. That's fine, Iodine finally said, and Iodine proverb the blink of an eye relief on his face. Iodine understand absolutely what your relation me. Helium get up to hug me, likely expect this to beryllium the end of Angstrom difficult merely necessity conversation. Merely arsenic Iodine felt his weaponry about me, something deep than sadness Washington settling inch my heart. Information technology Washington Angstrom cold clarity, Angstrom silent determination that helium couldn't perceive. That night, after Ethan left with the clear conscience of have decided the problem of his debatable mother, Iodine Saturday down astatine my sewing table and get down devising plans. Not plan for retaliation Oregon family drama, merely plan to wholly reorganize my precedents and my emotional life. For 32 years, Iodine have populate chiefly to beryllium Ethan's mother. Information technology Washington time to detect World Health Organization Grace Washington when she wasn't specified entirely by her maternal function. The 7 days that follow that conversation with Ethan be the most silent Iodine have populate inch my south side house since Iodine become Angstrom widow. For the first time inch decades, Iodine wasn't wait for telephone calls. Iodine wasn't fix supernumerary food inch case of visitors. Iodine wasn't keeping the house immaculate for family visits. Information technology Washington arsenic if Iodine have enter Angstrom analog dimension where Iodine could finally hear my own idea without the constant concern about the need of others. During those days, Iodine get down to systematically reappraisal every corner of my house, not to clean, merely to remember. Every object have Angstrom story. Every photograph keep Angstrom moment Iodine now proverb with wholly different eyes. Inch the life room cabinet, Iodine found the letters Ethan write. Maine from college full moon of thanks and promises. Mom, when Iodine graduate, I'm departure to bargain you Angstrom bigger house. Thank you for all the forfeit you've make for me. I'll never forget how difficult you worked to wage for my degree. Every letter Washington Angstrom promise of Angstrom future where my attempt would beryllium acknowledge and rewarded. Now, reading them again, Iodine recognized that Ethan have technically keep his promises. Helium have offer Maine occasional fiscal help. Helium have verbally thanked Maine for my sacrifices. Helium have never publicly deny what Iodine have make for him. Merely something more elusive have be doomed along the way. Genuine respect, natural inclusion, love that need no explanation Oregon justification. Iodine have be gradually replaced by Angstrom more convenient version of myself, Angstrom Mother World Health Organization exist lone when necessity and disappear when she might beryllium problematic. The Wednesday of that week, while form the bill from the stopping point few months, Iodine found the gross for all the supernumerary expense Iodine have incurred during Ethan's courtship and engagement. Small sum that individually didn't look significant, merely when add up represent about 6 calendar month of my full moon pension. The $50 Iodine lent them when Tasha desired to ascent the refrigerator earlier they get married. The $100 Iodine spend on special ingredient to brand the trial cake they desire for the wedding. The $30 for the battle gift Tasha have specifically chosen. The $20 worth of gas iodine spend departure to attempt on dress with her because she necessitate associate in nursing aged woman's opinion. Every expense have be show arsenic angstrom temp emergency Oregon associate in nursing investing inch the couple's happiness, merely information technology have never be reimbursed Oregon evening mention afterward. Information technology wasn't that iodine expect the money back, merely information technology. Trouble oneself main that iodine have be sole naive not to recognize iodine Washington being used arsenic angstrom convenient economic resource while simultaneously being exclude arsenic associate in nursing inconvenient sociable presence. On Thursday morning, my best friend Dalia come to visit, arsenic she have make every week for 20 years. Dalia have be my confidant throughout all the difficult old age of widowhood. The lone person World Health Organization truly know all my forfeit and struggle to raise Ethan. She Saturday inch the kitchen while iodine make coffee and immediately detect my different mood. What's wrong, Grace? You look very quiet. Iodine state her everything. The wedding, Tasha's comments, the conversation with Ethan, the request to beryllium less socially visible. Dalia listen without interrupting, merely iodine proverb angstrom's sadness in her eyes that confirm what Washington happening to Maine Washington not just my overstate imagination. Look, honey. She state when iodine complete talking. I've see this happen inch angstrom batch of family inch the neighborhood. The child get educated, get good jobs, marry girl from angstrom better background, and little by little, they leave buttocks everything that remind them where they come from. It's not that they're bad. They're just ashamed of their humble past. Her words injury because they confirm what iodine have be afraid to recognize. Merely Ethan's not like that, iodine protest weekly. He's never deny that we seamen from angstrom working class family. Dalia take my hand across the table. No, honey. Helium doesn't deny information technology when he's alone with you. Merely when Washington the stopping point time Tasha come to this house. When Washington the stopping point time Ethan take you to meet his coworkers. When Washington the stopping point time helium include you in his plan without you have to ask. Dalia's question coerce main to face angstrom world iodine have be. Avoiding. Tasha have seamen to my house precisely 3 times inch too old age of dating, always for very short time period and always with excuse to leave quickly. Ethan have never invite Maine to any of his work events, not evening the vacation party where family be included. When iodine propose family plans, there be always reason why information technology Washington better to delay for angstrom more convenient time. What would you bash if you be me? Iodine asked Dalia, feeling for the first time that iodine truly necessitate person else's advice. I think you rich person to decide what you privation for the remainder of your life, she replied. Do you privation to continue being the mother World Health Organization be always available when they need her, merely become invisible when it's convenient? Oregon bash you privation to populate for yourself for the first time inch 30 years. That afternoon, after Dalia left, iodine Saturday inch my favorite rock chair and get down. Angstrom exercise iodine have never make before. Imagine what my life would beryllium like if iodine wasn't constantly worry about Ethan and Tasha. What would iodine bash with my free evening if iodine was an embroidered gift that no one truly appreciated? How would iodine spend my money if iodine wasn't setting aside some for family emergency that always looked to dad up? What plan would iodine brand if iodine didn't rich person to support my agenda flexible inch case they necessitate me? For the first time in years, iodine let myself to dream of personal projects. Iodine have always desired to learn to use angstrom computer soul iodine could communicate with old colleague World Health Organization have traveled to other cities. Iodine have desired to return more advanced embellishment class to perfective technique iodine loan know by sight. Iodine have desire to travel to Charleston to visit my sister Maya. World Health Organization have invite Maine many times, merely whom iodine. Always state iodine couldn't leave the house alone in case Ethan necessitate me. On Friday night, while have dinner alone in front of the television, the telephone rang. Information Technology Washington. Ethan. Hi, Mom. How are you? Iodine Washington just career to say hello. His voice have that careful tone helium use when helium desire to brand certain iodine wasn't disturbance about something. Fine, son. Just make my thing, iodine replied, keeping my own voice neutral. Have you idea about what we talked about the other day? Helium asked. Iodine could detect the anxiety buttocks the casual question. Helium desire confirmation that iodine have fully accept his request to reduce my presence in his sociable life. Yes, I've idea about information technology angstrom lot, iodine said. And iodine think you're right. It's better for everyone to rich person their own space. Iodine hear the relief in his breathing. I'm so gladiolus you see information technology that way, Mom. Iodine don't privation you to think we don't love you. We just privation everyone to beryllium comfortable. After hanging up, iodine keep thinking about that word. Comfortable. Information Technology Washington interest how their comfort necessitate my discomfort, how their peace of mind necessitate my silence. Over the weekend, iodine make something iodine hadn't make in years. Iodine didn't plan anything with Ethan in mind. Iodine didn't cook his favorite food in case helium decide to visit. Iodine didn't clean and jerk the house supernumerary in case helium come with Tasha. Iodine didn't dress up in case they invite Maine out. Iodine merely populate my weekend arsenic if iodine be wholly independent. And the feeling Washington queerly liberating. On Sunday morning, iodine traveled to Mass alone Astatine St. Thomas Parish, where iodine have traveled for 20 years, merely where iodine have recently loaned show up when Ethan and Tasha didn't rich person other plan for me. After Mass, iodine stayed to chat with Beatrice, angstrom woman my age. World Health Organization have recently be widow and World Health Organization always ask about Ethan with genuine interest. And how be the young man? Our angle helium get used to married life, she asked arsenic. We walk toward the exit. For the first time, iodine decide to beryllium wholly honest. Well, yes. He's acquiring very used to it. So used to information technology that helium barely need his mother anymore. Beatrice look Astatine Maine with understanding. Oh, honey, that happen with all child when they get married. You raise them thinking they'll beryllium our companion forever, merely the truth be your elevation them to leave. Her words be like angstrom flash of clarity. All these years, iodine have idea iodine Washington investing in angstrom relationship that would turn strong over time. Merely in reality, iodine have be fix Ethan to become wholly mugwump of me. The problem wasn't that helium have pull away. The problem Washington that iodine hadn't fixed to populate my own life when iodine Washington no longer necessitate arsenic associate in nursing active agent mother. That afternoon, iodine decide to bash something symbolic merely important. Iodine wholly reorganize my house to work for Maine alone, not arsenic angstrom space always ready to receive family visits. Iodine store the supernumerary dining chairs. Iodine turn the guest room into my own sewing studio. Iodine travel my favorite book to the main life area alternatively of keeping them hide in the bedroom. Iodine changed the kitchen layout to beryllium more comfortable for angstrom single person. Every small change Washington angstrom declaration of emotional independence. This house Washington no longer departure to Beryllium Angstrom Museum of Motherhood where everything Washington continue for the convenience of Angstrom's son World Health Organization come less and less. Information Technology Washington departure to Beryllium, the home of Grace Pirol, Angstrom's 67-year-old woman. World Health Organization have finally decided to populate for herself. On Monday morning, Iodine Get Down implement more significant changes. Iodine name the computer school Astatine the community center and enroll Inch the basic course that Get Down that week. Iodine name my sister Mayan Inch Charleston and state her Iodine desire to visit her following month. Iodine travel to the bank and open Angstrom off-print savings history where Iodine lodge 1/2 of my pension. Money that would no longer Beryllium available for Ethan and Tasha's family emergencies. Every action Washington small individually, merely together they represent Angstrom's silent revolution. Inch how Iodine lived. For 30 years, Iodine have be Ethan's mother. Now Information Technology Washington time to detect World Health Organization Grace Washington when she wasn't specified entirely by her maternal function. On Tuesday afternoon, while practice on my new computer, which Iodine have by that very morning with money from my personal savings, Iodine receive Angstrom call from Tasha. Mother Pirol, how are you? I'm career because my ma privation to invite you to lunch on Saturday. Nothing formal, just Angstrom ladies lunch. Information Technology Washington the first time Tasha have name main directly Inch weeks, and Iodine could detect something artificial in her excessively friendly tone. Will Ethan Beryllium there? Iodine asked. No, it's just Angstrom ladies lunch. My mom, my Aunt Rose, you, and me, Iodine idea for Angstrom moment. 3 weeks ago, Iodine would rich person immediately accepted, grateful for any family inclusion. Merely now Iodine have the position to acknowledge that this Washington probably associate in nursing attempt to carry through the sociable duty of include the mother-in-law occasionally while keep control over when and how that inclusion happened. Tasha, thank you very much for the invitation, merely. Iodine already rich person plan for Saturday, Iodine said, surprise myself with the ease of my refusal. Oh, well, don't worry. We'll bash Information Technology another time, she replied. And Iodine could hear the surprise in her voice. She have clearly expect Maine to automatically accept any crumb of family attention offered. After hanging up, Iodine recognize Iodine truly make rich person plan for Saturday, my first advanced computer class, and Angstrom visit to the San Juan market to bargain material for my personal embellishment projects. Plan Iodine have make thinking loan of my own enjoyment without see whether they interfere with Ethan and Tasha's neat Oregon wishes. On Wednesday, Iodine receive associate in nursing unexpected call from my sister-in-law, Simone. The One World Health Organization have be particularly cold to Maine Astatine the wedding. Grace, how are you? I'm career because my son Devon B have his first communion following month, and we desire to invite you. Another invitation that arrived week inch advance, probably after much family argument about whether Oregon not to include me. Simone, thank you very much for thinking of me, Iodine replied. Can Iodine confirm following week? I'm form my calendar and privation to Beryllium certain Iodine can attend properly. Information Technology Washington Angstrom diplomatic answer that give Maine time to decide if Iodine truly desire to participate in family event where my presence Washington merely digest rather than desired. On Thursday night, while have Angstrom lull dinner in my reorganized kitchen, Iodine recognize something fundamental. For the first time in decades, Iodine didn't feel anxious wait for telephone calls. Iodine was an observation the telephone hope Ethan would need Maine for something. Iodine wasn't mentally fix excuse in case Iodine have to natural my own plan to attend to Angstrom family emergency. This new emotional independence hadn't arrived with dramatic pain, merely. with angstrom gradual repose that surprised me. Information Technology Washington Arsenic if iodine have be transport associate in nursing invisible weight for old age and have finally given myself permission to put option information technology down. The love for Ethan stay intact, merely information technology Washington no longer blend with the constant anxiety of prove iodine deserve his attention and respect. On Friday morning, while have breakfast and reading angstrom book iodine have by merely because iodine wished the cover, another luxury iodine hadn't let myself inch years, the telephone rang. Information Technology Washington Ethan, merely this time his voice keep angstrom note of confusion. Mom, Tasha state Maine you can't go to lunch on Saturday. Be everything okay? Are you feeling sick? No, son. I'm absolutely fine, Iodine replied. Iodine just rich person other commitments. What commitments? Helium asked. And Iodine could detect the genuine surprise in his voice. Evidently, information technology hadn't happened to him that Iodine could rich person angstrom's sociable life mugwump of my handiness for family events. I'm picking's computer class and Iodine rich person things to bash for the house, Iodine explained, keeping my tone casual. Oh, Washington all helium answer arsenic if helium be processing the information that his mother have precedents that didn't revolve about him. After hanging up, Iodine keep thinking about that conversation for years. Any family invitation have automatically be my high precedence careless of what other plan Iodine might have. Ethan have turn up expect that unconditional handiness arsenic something natural. Now meet boundary for the first time, helium didn't know how to interpret the situation. That afternoon, while form my new embellishment material inch my personal studio, Iodine receive angstrom text message from Tasha. Mother Pearl, Iodine hope you're not disturbance about something. If there's angstrom problem, we can talk. Information Technology Washington interest how my simple refusal to beryllium immediately available have be interpret arsenic angstrom sign of conflict. For years, my conformity have be so predictable that any different behavior Washington see arsenic problematic. Iodine answer with angstrom composure message. I'm not upset, Tasha. I'm just form my time differently. Thank you very much for the invitation. Information Technology Washington angstrom response that make information technology clear their Washington no drama, merely besides offer no extensive explanation Oregon apology for have my own priorities. Saturday Washington the first day inch old age that Iodine give wholly to my own interests. Inch the morning, Iodine travel to my computer class where Iodine meet other woman my age World Health Organization be besides learning technology after old age of give themselves entirely to their families. Inch the afternoon, Iodine travel to the market and buy. Colored person togs Iodine have never used, special fabric Iodine have admire merely never let myself to bargain for personal projects. That night, while have dinner inch my lull kitchen, Iodine recognize Iodine have spent associate in nursing stallion day without thinking about Ethan and Tasha, demur occasionally. Information Technology Washington the first time inch decade that my mind Washington busy with my own projects, my own learning, my own satisfactions. The feeling Washington strange merely profoundly reassuring. On Sunday morning, while lacrimation the plant inch my small garden, my neighbor Delia approached the fence separate our houses. Say, honey, doesn't Ethan seaman on Sunday anymore? Iodine haven't see him about here for weeks. Information Technology Washington associate in nursing innocent question, merely one that make Maine reflect on how my internal change be start to become visible externally. Well, he's married now, right? Everyone our angle their own life. Iodine replied, surprised by the naturalness of my answer. 3 calendar month ago, iodine would rich person explain inch detail the reason why Ethan Washington approach less, probably justify his absence and minimize any impression that there be family problems. Delia nod with understanding. That's life, honey. The child turn up and you rich person to learn to populate for yourself again. And how are you doing? How are you form yourself? Information Technology Washington. The first time person have specifically asked about my well-being mugwump of my family situation. Very well, iodine said, and recognize Information Technology Washington wholly true. I'm learning new things, make undertaking iodine have put option off. I'm truly enjoy have time for myself. Delia smiled. I'm so gladiolas to hear that. You look very peaceful lately. That afternoon, while working on Angstrom complex embellishment piece iodine Washington make just because iodine wished the design, not because Information Technology Washington Angstrom gift for someone, iodine reflect on the profound change that have happened inside Maine over those 2 weeks. The initial pain of acknowledge my new position in Ethan's life have transformed into something more constructive. The determination to physique associate in nursing identity that make not depend on my function arsenic Angstrom mother. For the first time in 30 years, Grace Pyal Washington life for Grace Pyal. And reverse to what iodine have feared, the universe have not collapsed. Ethan and Tasha be absolutely fine without my constant attention. The house Washington still operation without being constantly ready for unexpected family visits. My life have rhythm and purpose without being focused on the need of others. Information Technology Washington arsenic if iodine have be retention my breath for decade and have finally given myself permission to exhale completely. The air entrance my lung Washington different, cleaner, fresher, holy. Mine. The real number transformation get down precisely 3 weeks after my conversation with Ethan on Angstrom Monday morning when iodine decide to bash something iodine have never make inch my 67 old age of life. Write Angstrom list of everything iodine desire to achieve, thinking lone of my own happiness without see how information technology would affect Ethan, Tasha, Oregon anyone else inch my family. Iodine Saturday astatine my sewing table, now convert into Angstrom personal desk with Angstrom new notebook iodine have buy specifically for this purpose, and get down to write without censoring myself. Iodine privation to learn to use the computer well to communicate with people my age World Health Organization rich person similar interests. Iodine privation to travel to Charleston to see Mayan and stay arsenic hanker arsenic iodine privation without request if anyone need main astatine home. Iodine privation to return advance embellishment class astatine the community. Art Center. Iodine privation to bargain new apparel that iodine like, not what be allow for Angstrom woman my age. Iodine privation to go to the movie alone without feeling iodine rich person to justify why I'm not accompanied. Every line iodine write Washington Angstrom small declaration of independence. For the first time in decades, iodine Washington explicate desire that have nothing to bash with being useful to others, merely with detect World Health Organization iodine Washington when iodine wasn't specified by my family roles. That lap afternoon, iodine get down implement my list systematically and silently. Iodine name the Buckhead Art Center and enroll inch the artistic embellishment workshop that get down on Thursday. Iodine didn't mention this decision to anyone. Iodine merely make information technology arsenic any other mugwump adult would brand Angstrom personal decision. Iodine traveled to the promenade and buy 3 bright colored blouse that iodine wished the moment iodine. Proverb them without wonder if they be excessively youthful Oregon if Ethan would approve of my choices. On Tuesday, iodine booked my bus ticket to Charleston for the following week, buying associate in nursing open tax return ticket. When Mayan asked Maine over the telephone how hanker iodine planned to stay, iodine states something that surprised myself. Iodine don't know exactly. Information technology depend on how good iodine feel there. Information technology Washington the first time inch old age that iodine have make plan without angstrom predetermined deadline establish on Ethan's potential needs. On Wednesday, iodine make something evening more radical. Iodine travel to the bank and wholly modify the distribution of my pension. Alternatively of keeping all the money available inch my check history for family emergencies, iodine divide my income into 4 categories. Basic family expenses, personal savings, angstrom real number emergency fund, and angstrom monthly budget for personal activity and pleasures. For the first time in my adult life, angstrom significant part of my money Washington destined entirely for my personal enjoyment. These apparently small change represent angstrom's silent revolution in how iodine lived. For 30 years, iodine have operate arsenic if my life be angstrom share resource where my decisions, my time, and my money be always subject to Ethan's needs. Now, iodine Washington reclaim my complete autonomy, not aggressively Oregon dramatically, merely with the lull determination of person World Health Organization have finally understand her own worth. On Thursday, inch my first embellishment class, iodine meet angstrom group of woman World Health Organization would change my position on what information technology mean to beryllium associate in nursing mugwump aged woman. Their Washington Oilia, 72 old age old, World Health Organization have get down painting professionally after being widow Astatine 65. Gloria, 69, World Health Organization have learned to drive and now travel alone all over the country. Alicia, 71, World Health Organization have traveled back to school and have just complete her GED. All of them have populate decade wholly give to their family and be now detect endowment and passion they have never have time to explore. The secret, oily estate main while we practice angstrom new shading technique, be to stop request for permission to populate your own life. Our child aren't child World Health Organization need United States to survive anymore, merely we're still alive and we rich person the right to bash things that brand United States happy. Her words resonate inside Maine because they express precisely what iodine have be feeling merely hadn't know how to joint soul clearly. Gloria added, I spend 40 old age wait for my child to invite Maine to their plans, for my husband to include Maine inch his decisions, for my family to give Maine angstrom topographic point inch their life until one day iodine recognize iodine besides rich person the right to brand my own plan and invite whomever iodine want. Alicia complete the thought. The problem be that we teach our child that ma be always departure to beryllium available, always departure to say yes, always departure to put option their need earlier her own. And then we're surprised when they dainty United States precisely the manner we teach them. That conversation Washington like hearing my own idea expressed by wiser, more experienced voices. Iodine wasn't the lone woman of my coevals World Health Organization have confused maternal love with complete self-negation. Iodine wasn't the lone one World Health Organization have raised successful child Astatine the cost of wholly forget World Health Organization she Washington herself. And more importantly, information technology wasn't excessively late to change this dynamic. On Friday, armed with this new perspective, iodine make angstrom decision that would rich person be. Unthinkable 3 weeks ago, Ethan named Maine to ask if iodine could watch Simone's child on Saturday because she and her husband desire to go out and have no one to leave them with. Information technology Washington precisely the kind of request iodine have automatically accept for years. Cancel any personal plan to beryllium available for family needs. Ethan, iodine state with angstrom composure that surprised me. Iodine won't beryllium able to. Iodine already rich person committedness for Saturday. What commitments? Helium asked with the lap tone of genuine surprise Helium have used the previous week. I'm departure to the movie with some friend from my embellishment class, and subsequently we're departure to dinner together. Information Technology Washington Wholly true. We have make these plan the day before. Merely Ma Simone truly need person to watch the children. She doesn't know anyone else she trusts. His response uncovers something fundamental. For years, iodine have been the automatic rifle solution for any child care problem in the family. Not because Iodine Washington the best option, merely because Iodine Washington alone one World Health Organization never state ordinal number. I'm certain they'll discover another solution, Iodine replied. There are plenty of responsible babysitters, Oregon they can ask one of Simone's friends. Ethan Washington silent for angstrom moment, clearly processing that his mother Washington not offer option Oregon perpetrate to resolution Simone's problem. Be everything okay, Mom? Lately, iodine-rich person detect you're very different. Information Technology Washington the first time Ethan have verbalized that helium have detect change in my behavior. I make very well, son. I'm just learning to form my time differently. Differently. How? By include things that iodine like, not just the things the family needs. After hanging up, Iodine recognize Iodine have traverse associate in nursing invisible merely crucial line. For the first time, Iodine have put option my own plan ahead of angstrom non-urgent family need. Ethan would rich person to explain to Simone that his mother Washington no longer automatically available arsenic associate in nursing emergency babysitter. Simone would rich person to discover a solution that didn't depend on my unconditional availability. Information Technology Washington angstrom small merely revolutionist change. On Saturday, Iodine have associate in nursing experience Iodine hadn't have inch decades. Associate in nursing stallion day of adult fun with woman my age World Health Organization share my interests. We travel to the movie to see angstrom Mexican movie about associate in nursing aged woman World Health Organization decide to change her life after being widowed. Afterward, we have dinner Astatine Angstrom restaurant where none of United States have to cook, serve, Oregon clean. We talk about our personal projects, the book we be reading, and the trip we desire to take. Information Technology Washington like rediscover angstrom part of myself that have be dormant for soul hanker that iodine have forget existed. Grace, the woman, not just Grace, the mother of Ethan. Throughout the night, Iodine didn't receive Angstrom's single telephone call request where Iodine Washington Oregon when Iodine would beryllium back. Ethan and Tasha have screened out their weekend without necessitate to include Oregon consult me, precisely arsenic information technology should beryllium between mugwump adults. On Sunday morning, while have Angstrom lull breakfast and reading Angstrom book Gloria have lent Maine about Woman World Health Organization have reinvent their life after 60, the telephone rang. Information Technology Washington Tasha and her voice have Angstrom note of thinly veiled irritation. Mother Pure Sol Simone State United States you couldn't watch the child yesterday. Iodine hope Information Technology wasn't because of some discomfort. No, Tasha. Information Technology wasn't because of any discomfort. Iodine merely have other plans, Iodine replied, keeping my tone polite merely firm. Ohio well, Simone Washington left with no option and have to natural her excursion with her husband. We idea possibly Information Technology Washington Angstrom misunderstanding. Information Technology Washington intrigue how my simple refusal Washington being interpret arsenic angstrom problem that necessitate explanation Oregon correction. There Washington no misunderstanding, Iodine state her. Iodine besides rich person angstrom sociable life and personal plans. Simone have several days to form angstrom sitter if she truly necessitate to go out. Tasha hide silent for angstrom moment. Clearly not expect Maine to defend my decision. Sold directly. Well, Iodine just desire to brand certain everything Washington okay, she finally said. Everything be absolutely fine, Tasha. Thank you for asking. After hanging up, Iodine recognize Iodine have set. Associate in nursing important precedent. My personal decision make not necessitate extensive justification Oregon apology to the family. That afternoon, while packing material for my trip to Charleston, which would begin the following day, Iodine reflect on the profound change that have happened inside Maine over those 3 weeks. There have been no dramatic confrontation Oregon emotional discussion about my injury feelings. Iodine have merely get down acting like the mugwump person Iodine have always have the right to be, merely have forget how to be. Early on Monday, while wait for the bus Astatine the station, Iodine receive angstrom text message from Ethan. Mom, Tasha state Maine your departure on angstrom trip. Why didn't you Lashkar-e Taiba United States no sooner? When are you approach back? Information Technology Washington interest how angstrom week-long personal trip Washington being treat arsenic if information technology be angstrom decision that necessitate prior family approval. Iodine answer from the bus, son, I'm angstrom 67-year-old adult. Iodine don't need to ask permission to visit my sister. I'll beryllium back when my visit be over. Love you both. Information Technology Washington angstrom message that establish clear yet love boundaries. Iodine could love my family without being compelled to report every motion of my personal life. During the 4-hour trip to Charleston, Iodine give myself to observation the scenery and reflect on the woman Iodine have be 3 week ago versus the woman Iodine Washington now. The main difference wasn't that Iodine have stopped love Ethan, merely that Iodine have stopped exploitation his blessing arsenic the sole measure of my self-worth. His happiness Washington still important to me, merely information technology Washington no longer more important than my own happiness. Mayan greet Maine Astatine her Charleston home with angstrom genuine joy Iodine hadn't experienced in years. Sister, I'm so gladiolus you finally decide to come. You expression different, more relax Oregon something. Her observation confirmed that the internal change be being reflect externally inch ways Iodine hadn't fully detect myself. During my first night in Charleston, while have dinner on her porch and chew the fat about our dead person siblings, our memory of young person and our plan for the old age we have left to live, Iodine recognized something fundamental. Information technology have be old age since Iodine have angstrom conversation where Ethan Oregon his need weren't mentioned. For the first time in decades, Iodine Washington merely grace talk with her sister about subject that interest both of United States arsenic mugwump adult women. You know what Mayan state after Iodine state her about my embellishment class and new friends? Iodine always idea you be excessively give to Ethan. It's not wrong to beryllium angstrom good mother, merely you wholly forget to beryllium grace. Her words be direct merely talk with kindness, arsenic lone angstrom sister can talk uncomfortable truths. You're right, Iodine admitted, merely it's never excessively late to remember World Health Organization you are, be it? Mayan smiled. Not Astatine all. Inch fact, Iodine think your 60 and 70 can beryllium angstrom woman's best old age if she finally give herself permission to populate for herself. That night, inch the guest room of Maya's house, Iodine traveled to bed with angstrom sense of peace Iodine hadn't experienced in years. For the first time in decades, Iodine wasn't worried about whether Ethan necessitate Maine for something, whether Iodine have left everything from Astatine home, Oregon whether my absence Washington causing family inconvenience. Iodine Washington merely enjoy being inch angstrom new topographic point with my beloved sister, life associate in nursing experience Iodine have chosen entirely because information technology make Maine happy. The following 5 days in Charleston B. Angstrom continuous revelation. Mayan take Maine to see the Sweetgrass Basket Workshop where artists our age have get down their career after 60. We visit Colonial Church where Iodine stopped to admire old-timer ace-rate leaf work without rush and without have to watch the clock. We travel to the Craftsman Market where Iodine buy material for personal undertaking without wonder if the expense Washington justifiable. Merely the most important thing Washington that during those days Iodine rediscover aspect of my personality that have been dormant for decades. Information technology turnout Iodine have very specify opinion about art, that Iodine like to argument American history, that Iodine thoroughly enjoy walk down unfamiliar street without Angstrom particular destination. Information technology Washington like reconnecting with Angstrom version of myself that have exist earlier my stallion identity Washington specify inch footing of my maternal role. On Wednesday of my stay inch. Charleston, Iodine receive Angstrom call from Ethan that uncover the extent to which my change be affect the established family dynamic. Mom, when precisely are you approach back? Tasha privation to form Angstrom family dinner for the weekend, and we need to know if you'll beryllium available. Ethan, Iodine state while admire the seaport from Maya's porch. I don't know precisely when I'll beryllium back. I'm very comfortable here with my sister. What bash you mean you don't know? Didn't you bargain Angstrom tax return ticket? Iodine by associate in nursing open ticket sole Iodine could seaman back whenever Iodine feel like it. The silence on the other end of the line bespeak that Ethan Washington processing something wholly new. Angstrom Mother World Health Organization didn't rich person repair plan establish on family need merely Washington life spontaneously harmonized to her own desires. Merely Matasha already get down planning the dinner. She's invite her parent and she desire you to beryllium there. Information technology Washington intrigue how the dinner Washington being show arsenic Angstrom favor they be make for Maine when inch world they necessitate my presence to complete their image of Angstrom harmonious family. Tell Tasha to form her dinner without count on me, Iodine answer with Angstrom composure that surprise me. If I'm back by that day and don't rich person other plans, I'll gladly articulation you. Merely she shouldn't base her plan on my handiness because Iodine don't rich person Angstrom repair tax return date. After hanging up, Mayan look asked team Maine with Angstrom proud smile. That's my sister. Information technology Washington about time you teach them that you rich person Angstrom life of your own, too. Her words confirm that Iodine Washington on the right way toward healthy emotional independence. On Friday, Iodine decide to widen my visit by one more week, not because Iodine have particular plans, merely because Iodine merely didn't feel like departure back yet. Iodine name Ethan to inform him of my decision. Son, I'm departure to stay in Charleston for another week. Maya's departure to return Maine to see Savannah and some town in the region. Another week, Mom. You've already be there about Angstrom week. His tone uncover Angstrom mix of surprise and something that sound like impatience. Yes, and I'm departure to stay another week because I'm truly enjoy this experience. My house volition still beryllium there when Iodine get back, Ethan. And soul volition my things. Information technology Washington the first time inch my adult life that Iodine Washington devising decision establish entirely on what Iodine felt like make without see how information technology would affect others Oregon if information technology Washington what Washington expect of me. The feeling Washington terrify and emancipate astatine the lap time, like learning to walk again after old age of exploitation emotional crutches. That night, while Mayan and Iodine plan our excursion to Savannah, Iodine receive Angstrom message from Tasha that uncover the true degree of my transformation. Mother Parsoul, we understand you privation to enjoy your trip, merely Ethan be worried because you've never be away from home for so long. We just privation to brand certain you're okay. Iodine replied, Tasha, I'm absolutely fine. I'm on vacation with my sister, something iodine should rich person make old age ago. Ethan doesn't need to concern about associate in nursing adult woman World Health Organization be visiting her family in another state. Information Technology Washington Angstrom message that clearly established that my well-being may not necessitate constant family supervision. Astatine the end of my second week in Charleston, arsenic iodine packed to tax return home because iodine have decide Information Technology Washington time to go back, not because anyone have asked Maine to, iodine reflect on the profound transformation that have happened during this time. Information technology hadn't be Angstrom dramatic revolution with emotional confrontations, merely Angstrom's silent development toward complete emotional independence. During the trip back to Atlanta, iodine detect my contemplation inch the bus window and proverb Angstrom different woman from the One World Health Organization have left 2 weeks earlier. She Washington the lap grace physically, merely there Washington something inch her eyes that Washington knew, Angstrom repose that come from have rediscover her own worth mugwump of her function arsenic Angstrom mother. When iodine arrive Astatine my south side house that afternoon, iodine found several message on my answer machine from Ethan request what time iodine would arrive, if iodine necessitate to beryllium pick up Astatine the station, and if everything Washington okay. Merely for the first time, iodine didn't feel the urgency to call immediately to reassure everyone about my well-being. First, iodine take Angstrom relax bath, unpack calmly, and fix Angstrom light dinner for myself. Lone then, when iodine Washington ready and comfortable, make iodine call Ethan. Son, I'm home. Everything travel great. I'll tell you about the trip tomorrow. Mom, we be worried. Why didn't you call arsenic soon arsenic you arrived? Ethan, I'm Angstrom responsible adult. Iodine don't need to report every motion of my life. See you soon. That night, inch my house, reorganize for my personal comfort. Iodine travel to bed with the deep satisfaction of person World Health Organization have achieved something very difficult, transform Angstrom toxic family moral force without the need for dramatic confrontation Oregon explosive breakups. Iodine have reclaimed my emotional autonomy merely by exercise information technology day by day, decision by decision. The most significant change wasn't inch how Ethan and Tasha treat me, though that have besides better substantially. The most important change. Washington inch how iodine proverb myself. Iodine no longer necessitate their blessing to validate my existence. Iodine no longer measure my worth by my utility to them. Iodine no longer populate wait for them to include main inch their lives. Now iodine have my own rich people and satisfy life inch which they could participate if they desire and if they respect main appropriately. 2 calendar month after that transformative conversation while working on Angstrom complex embellishment piece inch my personal studio, the telephone rang. Information Technology Washington Ethan. Mom, bash you rich person plan for Sunday? Tasha and iodine privation to bash something special with you. What kind of something special? Iodine ask truly curious. We privation to return you to visit associate in nursing artist studio that Washington recommend to us. We idea you'd like to see how helium plant because helium specialize in traditional African amine fabric work. Information Technology. Washington associate in nursing invitation establish on my personal interests, not their family needs. Iodine love the idea, iodine said. What time volition you choice main up? Department of Energy 10 o'clock inch the morning sound good? Perfect. I'll beryllium wait for you there. Information Technology Washington Angstrom simple merely revolutionist conversation, associate in nursing invitation that include Maine because they specifically desire my company, not because they necessitate something from me. That Sunday, Arsenic we walked down the fabric artist studio and Iodine explained technique. Iodine acknowledged from my old age of sewing experience, Iodine proverbs something in Ethan and Tasha's eyes that have been absent for years. Genuine respect for my cognition and experience. Iodine Washington no longer just the ma with narrative from the past. Iodine Washington Grace, Angstrom woman with valuable expertness and a lone perspective. The artist, Angstrom man inch his 50 name Arturo, ask. Main technical question about traditional embellishment that Iodine Washington able to answer with detail and precision. Ethan and Tasha detect Maine with something that look like surprise, Arsenic if they be rediscover aspect of my personality they have take for allow Oregon ignore for years. I didn't know you know so much about fabric history, Tasha state Arsenic we drove home. Information technology never happened to Maine to ask, Ethan added. It's impressive how you can identify the technique and region of beginning just by look astatine the patterns. Their remark make Maine reflect on how much cognition and experience Iodine have kept silent for years. Not because Iodine didn't privation to share it, merely because there have never be space in our family conversation for Maine to beryllium the expert, the one World Health Organization have something interest to teach. That afternoon, after they dropped Maine murder astatine home, Iodine Saturday inch my favorite rock chair and mentally review the way Iodine have traveled since that wedding night when Iodine hear Tasha observe my absence. The Woman World Health Organization have be injury by those remark no longer existed. Inch her topographic point Washington Angstrom Woman World Health Organization know her own worth, World Health Organization have construct Angstrom rich people and mugwump life, and World Health Organization have teach her family to respect her, not out of commiseration Oregon obligation, merely out of genuine recognition of World Health Organization she Washington Arsenic Angstrom person. The telephone rang, interrupt my reflections. Information Technology Washington my friend Gloria from the embellishment workshop. Grace, what are your plan for tomorrow? Oilia privation United States to go with her to see associate in nursing exhibition of folk art astatine the Fulton County Humanistic Discipline Center. Iodine love the idea, Iodine answer immediately. What time should we meet? Arsenic. Iodine talk with Gloria about our plans, Iodine recognize something that fill Maine with deep satisfaction. Iodine have associate in nursing active agent sociable life that didn't depend on Ethan and Tasha. Iodine have personal undertaking that excite me. Iodine have friend World Health Organization value my company careless of what Iodine could bash for them. Iodine Washington no longer Angstrom Woman World Health Organization exist on the margin of her son's life. Iodine Washington Angstrom woman with Angstrom life of her own World Health Organization liberally include her family when the respect Washington mutual. The final lesson wasn't that Iodine have stopped love Ethan Oregon cut my family ties. The lesson Washington that Iodine have learned to love myself with the lap intensity with which Iodine have loved others for decades. And that amor propre have transformed all my relationships, not just the family one, devising them more authentic, more balanced, and paradoxically more loving. That night, Arsenic Iodine fixed my apparel for the following day, which include Angstrom cultural excursion with my friend and Angstrom dinner. Ethan and Tasha have invite Maine to Angstrom week inch advance. Iodine smiled, thinking about the woman Iodine have be and the woman Iodine Washington now. Both have loved deeply, merely lone one have learned that true love begin with oneself and widen toward others, from Angstrom topographic point of fullness, not from associate in nursing emptiness that need to beryllium fill by external approval. 6 calendar months have passed since that transformative conversation with Ethan and Tasha. And Arsenic Iodine water my geranium inch the small garden Iodine have wholly redesigned to my own taste. Iodine reflect on the calm woman Iodine have become. Information Technology Washington Angstrom perfective October morning inch South Side Atlanta with that aureate light that brand everything look possible. And for the first time in decades, iodine felt holy. Astatine peace with the direction my life have taken. My morning routine have evolved into something iodine never would rich person imagine. Astatine 67. Iodine get up. Astatine 630, not because iodine have to brand breakfast for person else Oregon beryllium ready inch case they necessitate main early, merely because iodine have detect that the first hours of the day be my most creative and peaceful time. Iodine make coffee inch my new coffee maker, another personal caprice iodine have indulge in. Saturday on the porch iodine have decorate with plant and angstrom comfortable rocker, and spend angstrom full moon hour merely exist without angstrom particular agenda. During those silent moments, iodine watch how the light change on the leaf of my plants. Iodine listen to the sound of the vicinity gradually waking up and let my idea to flow without angstrom particular direction. Information technology Washington angstrom luxury iodine hadn't given myself inch 30 years. The luxury of not mentally form the day's undertaking establish on the need of others, merely breathing and being present inch my own life. After coffee, iodine travel to my sewing studio, which iodine have convert into angstrom truly personal space. The wall be decorate with my favorite embellishment pieces, not because they be gift for someone, merely because iodine wish visual perception my work well displayed. The large table iodine have by let main to spread out complex undertaking without have to constantly put option everything away to brand space for other family activities. Information technology Washington my space form harmonized to my comfort and my creative needs. That morning iodine Washington working on angstrom large format tapestry that iodine have planned myself inspired by traditional African motif merely with my personal interpretation of the colors and shapes. Information technology Washington angstrom undertaking that would return main calendar month to complete. Merely that. Washington precisely information technology beauty. Information technology Washington something iodine Washington make entirely for my own enjoyment with no deadline, no external pressure, no need to justify the time Oregon material invested. Arsenic iodine embroidered, my mind frequently returned to the transformation iodine have undergone. Not just inch my relationship with Ethan and Tasha, merely inch my relationship with myself. The Woman World Health Organization have here those barbarous remark astatine the wedding no longer existed. Inch her topographic point Washington angstrom Woman World Health Organization know her intrinsic worth, World Health Organization have learned to set boundary without guilt, and World Health Organization have detect endowment and passion that have been dormant for decades. The deep change wasn't visible from the outside, merely ballad inch the internal silence iodine have pull off to cultivate. For years, my mind have be angstrom constant mutter of concern about Ethan. Have helium eat well? Would helium need something? Washington helium disturbance with main about something. What could iodine bash to brand certain helium keep necessitate me? Now that mutter have be replaced by angstrom deep repose that let main to think of him with love merely without anxiety, to care about his well-being without feeling iodine have to solve all his problems. Astatine 10 o'clock inch the morning, arsenic iodine have make for the stopping point 3 months, iodine fix for my daily walk down the trail of the South Side Greenbelt Park. Information technology Washington associate in nursing activity iodine have get down on angstrom doctor's recommendation to keep my physical health, merely which have become one of my favorite times of the day. During those 40 minutes of walking, iodine contemplate nature, greet other neighbor World Health Organization be besides exercising, and merely enjoy the motion of my body inch the space. On one of the park benches, iodine meet Beatrice, angstrom 73-year-old woman World Health Organization have recently be widow and Washington departure done the procedure iodine have experienced calendar month earlier. Rediscover World Health Organization she Washington when she wasn't specified entirely by her traditional family roles. Good morning, Grace. She greet Maine with angstrom smile that didn't quite range her eyes. How are you? Very well, Beatrice. And how are things departure Astatine your house? Iodine know her child have be coerce her to move to Angstrom's smaller apartment and sell the house where she have populate for 40 years. Well, we're managing, she sighed. My child insists that the house be excessively large for main alone, that it's excessively much work to maintain, merely that house clasp all my history. You know, Iodine don't know if I'm ready to leave it. Her words vividly remind Maine of my own internal struggle when Iodine Washington learning to distinguish between what Iodine truly desire and what others' idea Iodine should want. Beatrice, Iodine said, sitting beside her on the bench, what bash you privation to do? Not what your child think be best, not what be most practical harmonize to others, merely what you truly desire in your heart. She look Astatine Maine with surprise, arsenic if information technology be the first time person have specifically asked about her own desires. Well, I'd like to stay in my house, she admit timidly. Iodine like my garden. Iodine know all my neighbors. Iodine rich person my routine set up, merely my child say I'm stubborn, that Iodine won't accept that things rich person to change. Information Technology Washington the lap moral force Iodine have experienced. Adult Child World Health Organization confuse genuine care with control over their mother's decisions. And can you keep the house financially? Bash you feel safe life alone, Iodine ask her, address the real number practical question alternatively of the emotional ones. Yes to both things, she answer immediately. I rich person my pension, the house be pay off, and Iodine feel absolutely safe. It's just that my child think Angstrom woman my age shouldn't populate alone inch Angstrom large house. Iodine smile Astatine her with understanding. Beatrice, you are Angstrom competent adult World Health Organization our angle the right to brand your own decision arsenic hanker arsenic you are able to bash so. If you privation to stay in your house and can bash so, that be your decision, not your children's. She proverbs something inch my eyes that reassure her. Bash you truly think it's okay for Maine to tell my child no when they insist Iodine move? Iodine think it's okay for you to populate your life harmonized to your own wish and needs. Iodine replied, children sometimes forget that their mother are still mugwump people with the right to brand decisions, evening when those decisions aren't the one they would make. We talk for 20 more minutes, and when we state goodbye, Beatrice have Angstrom more determined expression, arsenic if she have remember something important about her own worth and autonomy. That conversation make Maine reflect on how many women of my coevals be fight with similar family dynamics, and how my own transformation have turned Maine into Angstrom kind of involuntary function model for others World Health Organization bequest their way toward late emotional independence. Upon return home, Iodine found Angstrom message on my answer machine from my sister Mayan inch Charleston. Grace, just career to say hello and tell you that my neighbor Rosario be departure done something very similar to what you experience with Ethan. Iodine state her your narrative and she privation to know if she can call you to talk. She state she need to hear from person World Health Organization pull off to change that moral force without lose the family. Information Technology Washington interest how my personal experience have become Angstrom beginning of inspiration for other women in similar situations. Over the stopping point few months, Iodine have received several calls from Maya's friends, acquaintance from my embellishment class, and evening neighbor World Health Organization have hear about my transformation and desire advice on how to set healthy boundary with adult children. Iodine name Mayan back immediately. Sister, of course, Rosario can call me. You know, I'd beryllium happy to aid other woman World Health Organization our departure done this. Oh, Grace, Mayan state affectionately, you don't know what associate in nursing impressive change you've made. Iodine listen to you and you sound like Angstrom different person, more self-assured, more peaceful. It's arsenic if you found your topographic point inch the world. Her words travel main because they capture precisely what iodine felt. Iodine have found my topographic point inch the world, not arsenic associate in nursing. Extremity to Ethan's life, merely arsenic Grace Pirol, Angstrom complete woman with her own interests, talents, relationships, and projects. That afternoon, Iodine have my weekly advance embellishment class Astatine the Art Center, where Iodine have progressed so much that the teacher, Carmen, curiously the lap name Arsenic my daughter-in-law, merely Angstrom wholly different personality, have asked Maine to aid teach some basic technique to new students. Information Technology Washington the first time inch old age that person have see Maine arsenic associate in nursing expert inch something, arsenic person whose cognition Washington valuable and worthy of being pass on. During the class, Iodine work with Norma, Angstrom 45-year-old woman World Health Organization have get down embroider arsenic therapy after Angstrom difficult divorce. Grace, she state arsenic iodine show her how to brand Angstrom particularly complex stitch. You rich person incredible patience for teaching. You can tell you truly enjoy sharing what you know. Her words fill Maine with satisfaction because they confirm something Iodine have detect about myself. Iodine have Angstrom natural endowment for teaching and found great joy in helping others develop their skills. The teacher, Carmen, approach while Iodine Washington explain the technique. Grace, I'd be thinking about something. Would you beryllium interest in teaching Angstrom Saturday morning workshop for Lady World Health Organization privation to learn traditional American folk embroidery? We rich person Angstrom batch of requests, merely we need person with your experience and patience. Information Technology Washington Angstrom proposal that profoundly excite me. The possibility of turn my passion into Angstrom ball activity that profit others and give Maine Angstrom sense of professional purpose Astatine 67. Iodine love the idea, Iodine answer immediately. When could we start? Inch 2 weeks, if that plant for you. Information Technology would beryllium Angstrom 6-session workshop and of course we would wage you for your time. Information Technology Washington the first time inch my life that person have offer Maine money to bash something Iodine truly enjoyed. Not out of economic necessity, merely arsenic recognition of the value of my skills. That night, while have Angstrom lull dinner inch my reorganized kitchen and thinking about the teaching proposal, the telephone rang. Information Technology Washington Ethan. Hi, Mom. How are you? Americium Iodine interrupt you. His manner of request have changed significantly in Holocene months. Now, helium admit that Iodine might rich person activity Oregon committedness that didn't revolve about his availability. You're not interrupting, son. Iodine just complete dinner. How are you and Tasha? Very well, Mom. Inch fact, that's why Iodine Washington calling. Tasha privation to invite you to Angstrom special dinner on Friday. It's our 6-month wedding anniversary, and we privation to observe information technology with you. Information Technology Washington the type of invitation Iodine have learned to expect, plan inch advance, establish on include my presence arsenic something desired, not arsenic something assumed. That's lovely, son. I'm so happy you privation to observe with me. What time would Information Technology be? Department of Energy 7 o'clock sound good? We idea we'd go to Angstrom new restaurant you'll like. Information Technology specialize in modern southern cuisine. The description of the restaurant show they have see my taste when devising the plans, not just their own. Perfect. I'll beryllium there, Iodine confirmed. Mom, Ethan add with Angstrom note of genuine affection in his voice. Tasha and Iodine be talk about how proud we are to see everything you're achieving, your classes, your projects, your new friends. You expression soul happy lately. His words travel main because they show angstrom degree of observation and appreciation that Iodine hadn't experienced before. Thank you, son. Iodine Americium very happy. I've truly detect aspect of myself that Iodine didn't know existed. And information technology shows, Helium said. Tasha always remark on how interest information technology be to talk with you now that we talk about your undertaking and not just about us. Information technology Washington angstrom perceptive observation that confirm the moral force of our conversation have basically changed. After hanging up, Iodine Saturday inch my reorganized life room and let angstrom deep sense of gratitude to wash over Maine for the journey Iodine have traveled. The Woman World Health Organization have be injury by Tasha's remark astatine the wedding have used that pain arsenic angstrom catalyst for angstrom transformation that have enriched not alone her own life, merely besides her family relationships. The Friday night anniversary dinner Washington angstrom disclosure of how much our family dynamics have changed. For the first time in years, Iodine spent associate in nursing stallion evening with Ethan and Tasha where Iodine felt seen, heard, and value arsenic associate in nursing mugwump person. We talk about the new workshop Iodine Washington departure to teach, the book Iodine Washington reading, and my plan to travel to Charleston again, and possibly research other southern cities. Tasha specifically asked Maine about the embellishment technique Iodine Washington learning, screening genuine technical interest, not just sociable courtesy. Ethan asked Maine for advice on how to decorate angstrom wall inch their condo, value my aesthetic judgment after old age of dismiss information technology arsenic old-fashioned. Information technology Washington arsenic if they have finally detect they have angstrom mother with her own personality, valuable knowledge, and interest perspectives. During dessert, Tasha make angstrom remark that surprised Maine with information. Technology depth. Mother parcel, I'd be reflect angstrom batch about my relationship with my own mom. Iodine recognize Iodine Washington devising the lap mistake with her that we use to brand with you. Pickings her for granted, not see her personal interests, assume she'll always beryllium available for what we need. Information technology Washington associate in nursing observation that show how my transformation have generate wave of awareness beyond our immediate relationship. Ethan added, I'd be thinking about that, too. It's easy to see our mother lone arsenic mothers, not arsenic complete woman with life of their own. Iodine think that's angstrom mistake angstrom batch of child make. His words bespeak angstrom degree of self-awareness that fill Maine with hope for the future of our family relationships. Astatine the end of the night, when Ethan walked Maine to my car, Helium make something Helium hadn't make in years. Helium asked Maine specifically about my emotional well-being, not just my physical health. Mom, are you happy with the change you've made in your life? Information technology Washington angstrom question that showed genuine interest in my inner state, not just my functionality arsenic associate in nursing available mother. Very happy, son, Iodine answer with complete honesty. For the first time in many years, Iodine feel like I'm life my own life, not just exist establish on the need of others. Ethan nod thoughtfully. I'm so gladiolus to hear you say that, and I'm very ashamed that information technology take main soul hanker to recognize that you besides deserve to rich person your own life. His words be like angstrom final balm for wound that have already healed, merely that Iodine still remembered. Ethan, Iodine said, pickings his hand. The important thing isn't how hanker information technology take United States to learn, merely that we finally did. Now we rich person the opportunity to physique angstrom relationship establish on common respect and genuine love, not on dependence Oregon guilt. That night after Ethan left, Iodine Saturday on my porch nether the star and reflect on the stallion journey Iodine have lived. From the pain of feeling invisible and undervalued to the conscious decision to reclaim my autonomy to building Angstrom new mugwump identity to make more authentic and balanced family relationships. The silence that have settled into my life wasn't associate in nursing empty Oregon resentful silence, merely Angstrom silence full moon of peace and purpose. Information Technology Washington The silence of person World Health Organization have learned to value herself independently of external approval. World Health Organization have construct Angstrom life rich people inch personal meaning, and World Health Organization have transformed pain into wisdom and invisibilization into empowerment. Arsenic Iodine look astatine the star from my small south side garden, Iodine idea of all the woman like. Beatrice, like Rosario and Charleston, like the student inch my future workshop World Health Organization be astatine some point on their own journey toward emotional independence. My experience have become something bigger than my personal story. Information technology have become associate in nursing example that information technology be never excessively late to rediscover World Health Organization you are when you stop shaping yourself entirely by what you can bash for others. The final contemplation of that perfective night Washington Angstrom deep understanding that fill Maine with serenity. Iodine have learned that true love, include family love, flourish best when information technology be established on common respect and person autonomy, not on dependence Oregon sacrifice. Ethan and Tasha love Maine more authentically now that they respect Maine arsenic associate in nursing mugwump person. And Iodine love them more freely now that Iodine didn't need their blessing to validate my existence. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give to those we love be to teach them to love United States arsenic we deserve to beryllium love arsenic complete, valuable and mugwump people. And sometimes the greatest act of amor propre be giving ourselves permission to beryllium precisely World Health Organization we are without apologies, without justifications, and without the constant need to prove our worth done service to others. Make you like my story? And which city are you listening from? Let's meet in the comments. If you wish the story, you can support Maine by sending Angstrom Superintendent thanks Soul Iodine can support delivery more narrative like this. Thank you so much for your sweet support. I'm look forward to your remark on the story. On the screen, you can see 2 new life narrative that Iodine highly recommend. There's so much more on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the following life story. With love and respect,